Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. And the painting I'm bringing you today is called Path to the Sea. It's a 5x7. I painted this a couple days ago. And yeah, I want to tell you about it. So I'm working on a bit of MDF, and it's coated with two coats of house paint, essentially, just to, act as a nice buffer between that board and the paint. And of course, we're working with oil paint. I'm an oil painter. This is just burnt umber. I didn't add anything to it. Although maybe I did. I did add a little black at some point, but not a lot. And the basic scene I've had banging around for a while. I painted it a long time ago, but I made some major changes. One, I made this like instead of just another clump of trees in the distance, I decided to make it the ocean, to make it the sea, with a path, and lately I've really been into that. I've been using some of the capabilities of Photoshop to help me with those paths. Sometimes they're really crappy. And well, hey, you could check out the reference image that I used in the members area. I'll make sure it's up. And actually, I gotta re-render that video with that image, but it'll be there. And yeah, I'm making an effort. I'm still training myself, but it's interesting. And I could make a lot of different paintings from that same reference image. Sorry, I sometimes move away from the microphone. My headset microphone doesn't seem to work in this Filmora program very well, and neither one of them, they make a weird buzz. Anyway, what we're doing here is the underpainting, and there was a bunch of kind of nothing grass, and what I'm always trying to do, and I remember talking about this, which you can hear that, of course, in the members area as I'm doing it, is I'm kind of reiterating, the need to just create some pleasing set of patterns, and that is what you reinforce as you do your painting. Still bringing elements over from the reference, but the real challenge I think we have as moderns with all this awesome reference around is it's still a challenge to make a good painting. It's quite difficult. I was working with a student recently, and it's just it's a challenge how you break things down and interpret things. And I think the real crux of it is if you just want to get, really detailed and trace the image and then painstakingly paint it, almost like I'm not even talking about like a large scale paint by numbers, like break that paint by numbers into, 1,000 little patterns, right? That you're just pulling over from the reference. And that's a legitimate painting approach. Some people do that, and yes, that work can even sell sometimes, but if you're going to do that, the photo's got to be absolutely impeccable. Otherwise, what happens is you bring every flaw that's in the reference image over into your paintings. So you've got to be like the director of a movie, in a sense. You have to pick the scene. It's even more than that when you're a painter, because you're creating the color palette, the composition of the piece, where the focus is going to be, and the whole mood of it. And that is really what I'm all about. So I recently asked one of my students to define some aspects of her art process, and where she wanted to go with her art. And one of the questions is, why do you do art? What's the reason? And now, I was a commercial artist for a long time, and so I was making a pretty good living doing that. And as a fine artist, a lot less. I think a lot of that's due to where I live here in the middle of nowhere, but it's all good, because to me, I'd rather just make the work, and if I've got enough to make it, then I'm fine. But the reason that I create paintings is that I want to leave behind a statement of something that's beautiful that we can all get behind. It's an emotional statement, and it functions now. A lot of times you could end up, you could use the word beautiful or pretty or any of those, and I think some of that could qualify for some of my work, but there's also a bit of moodiness or darkness or what have you. I'm not here to really talk about that, because you're really more interested in your work, and I'm posing this question to you as well. Why are you doing it, and what is it you want it to accomplish? And that's important, because it might just be that you like trying stuff out. It might just be that some painting and this is sort of the case for me. When I was quite young, I saw artwork and it really moved me emotionally, had a strong impact, and I always wanted to carry that forward. I saw the value of it. I saw the value in painting, and I saw the intense emotional impact that can come from a really nice painting, whether it's large or small. Okay, hey, my little scroll thing saying the book ad's coming. I don't know, it's missing in this video, but here's an ad for the book, and we just shipped out a couple books this week. All over the world we're shipping them, and gratified I am. I worked quite hard on it. It encapsulates a good solid 10-11 years of my painting journey. Really trying to learn how to paint in a toneless manner, and I won't say that my opinion on it's the be-all end-all, but I know how to get a toneless result, and I still consider myself a modern painter. People say, oh, you're a traditional painter. Well, and especially if you walk into my studio gallery, it looks like you could have been 100 years ago, 500 years ago even, except for the computer monitor, but it's full of paintings and frames and a couch and a work table with an easel and paints and all that groovy stuff. Anyway, let's talk some more about this painting. So I'm real happy with the sky. In fact, I consider the sky really to be the subject of this painting, and it's setting that tone. I was really in the reference, which again you can see there in that old members area shot. I liked the colors of the sky, but there was banding and weird shapes that I didn't like in the sky, and I think it's a really good lesson in how to pull things from the reference and but come up with your own patterns in many cases, many occasions. That's kind of what I do with that middle tree, and I still was kind of questioning even at the end. Oh, do I like the way that goes off? And I'm like, yeah, when I think it comes in with the frame, it's going to feel real settled, and it's frame. It in itself is sort of acting like a bit of a frame for the sky. It's a very interesting grouping of trees, and quite odd. I mean, I think I pulled it off. This is definitely a place though, okay, so last time I painted this, I definitely did pull that off. That painting I see it all the time. It's in my bathroom, and how I pulled that off was just getting really, really deep into the trees themselves and breaking them down, their anatomy, and delineating it, and still with feeling, but lots more work, lots more layers, and I could probably do that kind of thing again if I wanted to, but I would find it so much less satisfying, because what I want to do is get the feeling across, but I also really enjoy when the painting has a feeling of spontaneity and immediacy, that where it's worked just enough. That's something that a lot of plein air artists are quite good at, and I'm not a plein air artist. I'm a studio artist, but I respect trying to just do things that are fresh, and this is one of the reasons I am also really in love with the here we are 5x7. Now I actually scaled this, I think, to be a 6x8 and changed my mind, but I don't really, I can make those adjustments, and you see that grid at the beginning in the drawing stage. That kind of helps me with that a bit. And here the real question in my mind was, how much space between that grouping of trees and the amount of sky? And I feel if that was over too far, that it wouldn't feel good. So that's why, and then the other thing I want to point out to you is where I put that sort of bright bit of light up against that tree. And that to me is like really the focal point, you know. And it's difficult, by the way, to put that darker element up against a lighter element and have it look nice. But it's one of your main devices. It's like your main focus. And the other thing I point out to you, and the members are always hearing this stuff. The bottom corners, you can see in my just we have the drawing bit down there, but that's going to actually, those colors aren't that far off from where they're going to be in the paintings anyway, and I incorporated a lot of that work. But notice how I made both corners kind of dark. It's because I don't want you messing around in those corners. I just want you to move up the path to the grouping of trees up into the sky and kind of circle around, and the patterns that I put into the clouds, which are different from the reference. They're informed by the reference, but they're different. They're reinforcing what I feel the compositional flow of the piece is, and it's a simple sort of little painting, but here too, if I'd had a little more space, I would have maybe done a bit more with the water. And if that's one thing in the reference image, it's less and quite minimal, but nice. You know what? It's just nice. We're gonna head towards that. We see the beach. We're gonna go. All right. Hey, you want to go? Yeah. I contemplated, you know, you could have gone with some white with some waves and things. I didn't want to get into any of that. Just want to keep it simple. And the whole painting, it went quite quickly. I did have a few technical issues. If you're a member, I apologize for that. But you're not missing out on much. You know, a few glitches. That's just it's just technology for you. Yeah, so these tree masses, a lot of potential complexity there, and the way I played it is the advice I am always giving you. I just came up with some patterns I thought were kind of pleasing, and I just tried to reinforce as I was progressing those patterns and the things I liked about them, and to knock back the things I thought were not really working. And a lot of times the last step is to come in with a little more dark paint and reinforce some of those shadows. But there too, you know, you don't want to have too much of that spread of the dark, and that's kind of thing that as the painting ages could be maybe a bit of a not a technical issue with the paint, but you know, it seems that you know, the paintings could tend to darken a bit over time. So I think it's always good to have a little bit of interest in those dark areas. Now this path I was real happy with, so I didn't have a path in it last time. It was just a like a rectangle bit of grass, which can be fine. It can be fine. I'm a path junkie though. I love them, and it just takes something that's just about nothing and makes it something. But what I think I'm real proud of, we're almost done with this painting, the way I handled the grass areas was real minimal. You see, I just kind of put a little this on and a little that on and left it alone. And I was tempted to get kind of strokey with the grass type of effect, but I thought, nah, just break it up and throw it in, and it will match the sort of simplicity of the sky, the overall simplicity of the whole painting. And I think it's what you want to shoot for, what I want to shoot for. I won't talk for you, but just painted enough, you know, and maybe you know, I can't escape from my M. Francis way of approaching things, but to just embrace it and try and make something nice. And I think we did that today, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to me burble on. And I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you're getting some good painting done. After this video is over, just, you know, turn off this dang YouTube and get over to your paints and start making something. A little 5x7, right? Because you can get frames for those, no problem. Yeah, easy. You know, pop a little frame, you'd have a good feeling about yourself. Oh, you got something done, right? Anyway, till I come back with another video for your edification, I hope for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble, and God bless you and your family. Fight the power.